All right, how's everyone doing? I am Rich CELENZA. Thanks for checking out the Rich CELENZA show. So, what I'm going to talk about today is specifically dating apps and how many people complain to me about them. It could be personally, it could be comments they leave on YouTube, it could be people just emailing me, texting me, and a lot of times I meet up with people, or guys, I should say, some of my clients, and the one thing a lot of times they say is, man, I'm sick of these dating apps. I don't like the way people correspond on them. It's just phony. I don't trust them. All these different type of things, and I get it. But here's the deal regarding anything when it comes to meeting men or women. It's on you to figure out what works best for you. And a lot of people complain about one thing, but then kind of keep doing this, keep using it is what I should say. You may have seen that even with social media a lot, with people always complaining about, could be Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. They're sick of it, they hate it, all these different types of things, and then they're always on it. So I think there is a form, I don't want to say of addiction, but there is a form of people saying they don't want to use something, but being forced to use it, or thinking they're being forced to use it, or they just don't want to admit they like it more than they say. But let's put that aside right now. In my opinion, dating apps, because I never used one, to be honest with you. And I did a study, though, with me using one. So I guess I never used it to the way, people used it. I was actually starting a relationship, and I heard about Tinder. I've spoke about this before. My cousin came to town, and what he did was he set up an account with me, and we kind of were doing experiments with me, like he put 5 pictures of me with 5 different beautiful women. And, just as kind of a fun thing at the beginning, because I said, let's try different things with different photos, be like, let's just see what my profile. And I was in California, in San Diego, and we're bouncing between there and LA. So there are a lot of women there and a lot of beautiful women. Plus, I kind of, if you looked me up and stuff or looked at me, you could tell I was kind of in the film industry. I did some with red carpet. So I did have some leverage and things that I had definitely in common with the people living in that area at that point in time. But even when I was with my cousin, I was noticing, because he was on there looking for women, his communication skills were absolutely horrific, I thought. A lot of it was very fast, almost sexting or, all those type of things, like these weird conversations. I'm here to tell everybody out there, at least in my opinion, I guess a dating app is meant to be used a certain way. I won't use it in any way than the way I want to use it. There are no rules. I've talked about that even with interview and different podcasts that I've been interviewed on. You make the rules. You understand? I mean, connecting is one thing, but once you connect, your conversations are strictly on you. And if you don't like the way they're going, then you don't have them. You cancel that person out, or you change it to what you want to talk about. It does not have to be about hooking up. It doesn't have to be about sex. I don't even understand how people start sexting one another that they don't even know. I find that kind of hilarious to a certain degree. I mean, at the beginning, when I think texting first came out, maybe Facebook Messenger and Instagram, you're like, oh, this is interesting. I could kind of, flirt with this person online. But if you look at things now, I guess you could say, to me, it's corny. The last thing I want to do is start sexting with somebody I don't know. I don't even know if that photo's real. What I say a lot of times, if you are going to use this app, but I'll just say this, is learn how to have a normal conversation, an interesting conversation. Learn how to find who this person really is before meeting up with them. Now, if you're on that app just to have sex, that's on you. If you get used, if you have sex with somebody and you feel used, you went and met up with them and all that, again, that's on you. I don't care if you're a guy or a girl. You let somebody manipulate you to do anything to you on your own free will is on you. I'm just telling you. But if you were going to, say, use these apps, I'm telling you right now, use them in the way you choose to use them, because a lot of times you may be using them in the way you don't like to use them, or you've been programmed to use them a certain way. And of course you're not going to like it, right? I'm just saying, it's like going to a gym. Let's say I'll use, for instance, if you went there and destroyed yourself physically every time, would you like the gym? Probably not. But if you went there and learned how to do things correctly and you did the things that gave you results and you paced yourself that worked accordingly, you're going to like what you maybe get out of it. And that's how you got to look at this situation. So, yeah, that's the one thing I want to say about that. Number 2, very quickly, if you don't like to use the apps, you know what I mean? Delete them. All right, just for starters, I'd say. And start going after what you want to go after. But here's the deal that a lot of men shit in the pants, I call them. You're used to using technology maybe to hook up or communicate, which I'm not saying you can't now. But when you lose the app entirely, you don't have that safety net bullshit to keep going on to and kind of fall back on. What's going to happen is you're going to start learning how to figure out other ways to meet women. You're almost going to be forced to. And I think what's going to happen is you're going to have to learn how to communicate with women outside of technology a little bit. That doesn't mean you're not going to still be on Facebook, I presume, or TikTok, or maybe LinkedIn, or wherever the hell you're connecting to with people or women. But it's still different than going to a dating app. And I would throw a website in there as well, because a lot of people complain they don't like dating websites as well. One of the reasons being is a lot of people are fakes or phonies. They say they're this or that. Then you go meet them. They don't look like this. They definitely don't have their shit together or whatever. But if you got rid of both of them, now you're back on your own. Basically, I say like in the field. You're out there. Now you're going to have to learn how to, communicate now with women verbally. And it's going to be an amazing thing, I think. But a lot of men, I know you've dealt with rejection, so it's hard. Shifting from technology to like all of a sudden, having to talk to random women, or you even being introduced to women you don't know, one-on-one is way different, obviously, than hanging behind your phone, or hiding, I should say. So this is going to take time, like anything else. But I think a lot of guys are like, I hate the dating apps, I hate websites, I'm just going to go out there and meet and talk to women. Well, guess what? They go out there, shit in the pants again. They're not talking to women. All they're doing is looking at them, walking around, staring at them, waiting for a woman, which most likely is never going to happen, to talk to them. Or again, waiting for your friends, maybe family members, colleagues, to introduce you to women. Now, long periods of time start going by, right? Not weeks. I'm talking months. Nothing's happening. Again, it's on you to learn how to communicate. I talk a lot about it regarding making friends with women first. I'm not going to get into that on this podcast because I always talk about it. But I truly believe most men do not know how to become friends with a woman, which in turn, you know what I mean? It's either all or nothing. So you're either outside somewhere, I don't care if you're in the mall or the workplace or school or whatever, you talk to a woman, you ask them out. If they say no, or you don't get their number, or you don't get their their social media, profile, or connect that way, it's over. It's not a lot of times like technology too. You got to understand where, say you do connect with somebody and you have a conversation. Again, it could be on a dating app or a website or through wherever. You communicate for a while and then you come back a month later. It could be 6 months later, but they're still kind of there. You're still connected. What you got to realize in the field or out in the the real world to a certain degree, where you're meeting people, if you don't stay connected with them, you're going to lose them. All right, especially if it's like in a place, it could be an airport or wherever. You may not get their last name. They're gone forever. And I think a lot of times younger people think, oh, wait a minute. I thought I was, I'm not connected with. Like you kind of almost forget that type of, situation anymore, that you can't always, reach. You're not always connected with people, especially if you don't know them. So I don't want to get too long-winded on this, but please stop using a dating app or a website as an excuse why you're not meeting people. And also start learning how to meet women or men in different environments. Again, besides that, you can't have both. You can't blame also apps or websites for you not meeting people. It's on you to meet people. I really believe that. So, get out there, start learning to be interesting, start learning to be fun, and start learning how to communicate with one another without technology. All right? Take care. If you got any questions or comments, please hit me up. I'm at masteringselfconfidence.com. I'm also at richcelenza.com. All right? All right. Take care.